Hey everyone, welcome to Judging for the Win. I'm Dave, and this is my daily ruling. Amy uses Quicksilver Elemental to get the activated ability of Anaba Shaman. She then uses Quicksilver Elemental's new ability against Nick's Burnt and Forge Tender. Nick protests that his creature shouldn't die because it has protection from red. What do you think? Alright, so we'll get into a little bit of spoiler territory, and I'll tell you that this does work exactly like Amy thinks it should. However, there are certainly a few reasons that I could see a player believing that it shouldn't work. So let's go through all of those in sequence. The first concern that I could maybe see is that this is an ability from a red creature, and Burnt and Forge Tender has protection from red. So it shouldn't be illegal to target it with a red ability, right? Alright, so that's true. If you have protection from red, you can't be the target of red spells or abilities. However, that is not what's happening here. So if we take a look at this rule here, we can see that even though Anaba Shaman gave that ability to Quicksilver Elemental, and Anaba Shaman is red, since we're activating the ability of Quicksilver Elemental is considered to be the source of that ability, not Anaba Shaman. As a result, we're seeing that a blue creature is targeting Burnt and Forge Tender, not a red one. This is the case even if Amy is using red mana instead of blue mana to activate that ability. So, because there is a blue creature activating an ability that targets Burnt and Forge Tender, the game sees absolutely no problem with that whatsoever. The next thing that I could see tripping a player up about this is that if we look at the ability, it specifically says that Anaba Shaman is dealing damage to Burnt and Forge Tender. Now, Anaba Shaman is red, and one of the things that protection does is it prevents all the damage that red sources would be dealing to Burnt and Forge Tender, right? So therefore it should be safe. Well, not so fast. You see, we also have this rule here, which says that if a permanent gains an ability of another permanent, and that ability uses the other permanent's name in it, then we need to switch the name to be the name of the first permanent, the one that now has that ability. What this means in this situation is that because Quicksilver Elemental gained Anaba Shaman's ability, any instances of Anaba Shaman's name in that ability will be replaced with Quicksilver Elemental's name. And again, just like before, we see that it's actually Quicksilver Elemental, a blue creature, that's dealing the damage to Burnt and Forge Tender. So again, there's no problem at all with this. For a similar reason, if we use Quicksilver Elemental to gain, say, Cinder Elemental's ability, then if we wanted to activate that ability on Quicksilver Elemental, then Quicksilver Elemental is the thing that we would sacrifice, not the Cinder Elemental. And another consequence of this is that because Quicksilver Elemental, a blue creature, is the thing that's dealing damage in either of these cases, sacrificing Burnt and Forge Tender to prevent that damage will not be effective, because Burnt and Forge Tender is only able to prevent damage that a red source would deal. Quicksilver Elemental, of course, will not qualify. There is one more possible thing that I could see Nick objecting to, and that would be that this is kind of a janky way to get rid of a permanent, isn't it? To which I would respond, yeah, it is, but just because it's janky doesn't mean it won't work. So, that's all I have for you today. How did you do? Join me again tomorrow for another daily ruling, but until then, I hope you have a great day.